Hello everybody, my name is Chris, also known as Obsidian Brat on Ravelry and Instagram, coming to you from my garage, doing a non-knitting thing, working on my Honda XR 200R dirt bike. It's a fork saga. These are my forks. I'm trying to change my fork seals. Boop, right there. And it's giving me a lot of trouble. But yeah, this is my current whip. Work in progress. Changing my fork seals so I can ride into the sunrise or sunset. I don't know. My husband Jordan is out getting some much needed tools and things just to get a clippy thing, it's called a Jesus clip, out of my fork because it is just not coming apart. I drained the fork fluid and all that on fork number 1, and yeah, it's just a project. What a time. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now. Dirt bikes are fun. 10 out of 10 will recommend you get into them. They're kind of frustrating sometimes. My favorite is always and will be crafting and making, but dirt bikes can be fun too. Yeah. So yeah, that's one whip. Let's get on to the next whip and change out of the work on bike clothes. Okay. I'm very sleepy today. I had some allergy medication. It's supposed to be non-drowsy, but I'm feeling it. Yeah, so let's get to it. I'm in my craft room. It has moved from the previous room from last week's episode to this room next to my bedroom. And it's coming together. I'm in my little corner. It feels good. It feels great. Yeah. It's probably going to continuously change. Let's see. Should we do a grand tour? I think we should do a grand tour. Yeah, let's do that. So this is the project corner, filming corner. It's got my spinning wheel, it's got some art, very cool. Meditation pillow next to that. And I've got my altar and my very cool art stuff and books. This planter, that will have a plant in it eventually. And then because my craft room also doubles as a guest bedroom, so we have a mattress in here that I need to get bedding for, as well as I need a nightstand, but my yarn stash will do. And I got some art right there, very fun art. I think this is some of my favorite art in the room. My friend Allie made this. She is the artist behind Entangled Roots Press, and used myself and another awesome femme of color as references for this print, Hex the Patriarchy. Very cool. And of course the door, the closet, it's got my knitting stuff in it. Everything is very cute. This is my craft room. Very fun. So yeah, that's the craft room. It's really nice. I enjoy it. It's quiet. I can be in here without my dogs bothering me. I can lock the door if I need to be completely uninterrupted. Yeah, it's wonderful. I never thought I would have a spot like this, but do, and so the possibilities are endless. Let's get to some whips. One of them I can't show you because it's part of a mystery knit along, and it's the Nice to Gnome You MKAL by Sara. I'm sorry if I butcher this. I pulled it up on Ravelry just for this reason. Schira. I'm so sorry. Sara is great. This MKAL is interesting because gnomes are just not on my radar. And B, I've never done this before. I like knowing what I'm doing. I like knowing what I'm getting into, so this is like a leap of faith for me. Yeah, so there's that. It's been fun. You get a little clue every week, and I knit it up, and it's fun. Yeah, when it's finished, I'll actually like show y'all what it is for the sake of secrecy and like sticking to the rules of the MKAL. I'm just not going to show anyone. And then I'll talk about the yarn that I'm using for it and everything at that point. The next whip, which I haven't started yet, so I don't even know why it's a whip. The next in the queue is a pattern by Mackenzie of Into the Third podcast, the Making podcast. If you haven't checked out Mackenzie's stuff, the podcast, her Instagram, her Ravelry, if you don't have the pleasure of purchasing the yarn that she dyes, please do. You are missing out if you don't have that. So I'm gonna try to like do a thing and insert things here if I can. If not, then I'll just link to it. But the cool cotton hat that Mackenzie has written as her debut pattern looks really cool. It's so cute. Meant to be paired with the liminal yarn that will be dropping tomorrow, which is really cool. I'm going to try to snag myself some so I can get some for this hat. If not, I'm going to cast one on with different yarn and maybe have like 2 hats and gift one to my sister or my mom or keep one for myself. But it's just a really cool pattern, and I'm very excited to start it. Yeah, so that's whip in the dreams, whip of my dreams, I guess, in the dreams of my dreams. For that, and an actual whip that I'm working on is a cross stitch by Junebug and Darlin. It's the Take Time to Heal cross stitch, and it comes in this really cool pink bag thing. It's very nice. I got this cross stitch back in December when we could all be in like the same place in public spaces. My goodness. And I haven't touched it like at all. I haven't even I didn't start it until a couple days ago. So I got to say hello to Zoe and talk with her about stuff briefly, and like just kind of poked her around. I was a little shy, you know, when you follow someone on Instagram you get to be a little freak and be like, you know. But this is what it's looking like so far. And I got a little needle minder also which was like fairly cheap. It's like this really pretty like fabric, and the needle did not come with the project. I just like, I had it from like Walmart. But look at that, it's like really cool. I think my favorite part is doing these little French knots. They're really fun to do. And of course, like the leaves and stuff and the stems of like the Queen Anne's lace is what it looks like, or yarrow. Yeah, very fun. It comes with the embroidery hoop, everything, instructions on like the stitches, the batting, and felt, and then a little card that has like all of your stuff. Mine's a little wild because I'm wild when I do things. But yeah, it's like a full kit, and then it has the actual pattern, and that's what it looks like. And then you follow it, and it's very easy. For a lot of people, for me especially, I think just following an embroidery pattern is this is the first time I'm actually doing it. And I thought it was going to be scary, but it's not. It's just like counting to get to the front. You start from the center and you count, and then you start. And it's really easy. The best thing that I like about this kit is the instruction booklet thing. So it has like all of the materials included. It has other supplies that you're going to need. It's very cute, and it shows you step by step how to do things, how to get started. And if you're not familiar with cross stitch, it has these really cute, just like, I hope this thing focuses, like, come on, focus, focus, focus. Anyways, very cute drawings that are very explanatory, and just like, I'm a visual learner. I need things written down when I learn things, especially new things, especially things that require steps. And so this is just, it's really easy. The French knot thing, it was really cool to like see the actual like visual drawing, but I actually had to like go on to, because I need multiple visuals, I needed like the written instruction, the pictures, and I needed to watch a video. So like most things, like when I started knitting, I went down a cross stitch rabbit hole and just like watched like tons of videos on like different types of knots, different types of stitches, and different techniques, and you know, people's like tips and tricks on tension and yada yada. So this is a really great fun project. She's got like tons of these kits, and also just regular like supplies on her Etsy if you live outside of Portland, or just in general because it's COVID time and we can't see each other. And then she's also on Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest. Yeah, so I'll link below to all of this stuff. These kits are great. They're worth the money. They're quality. Really fun projects. If you are like me and you are feeling uninspired by the sweaters that you are working on, yeah, really great stuff. I have like allergies, so I keep like coughing, which sucks. New place, new allergies. Moving is wild. It's fun to get back into cross stitch and embroidery in general. Just like thinking back to my very first crafts as a child, I definitely remember going to a Joann's Fabrics with my mom and my grandma, and while they were like, I think it was like around like Christmas time or something, and my grandma was very keen on always having like the fake poinsettia flower arrangements, and she would like switch them up every single year, so we would spend a lot of time in Joann's or Michael's, and but this was specifically at Joann's. I remember getting my very first cross stitch kit, and it was like, it had a little plastic embroidery hoop and a little plastic needle, and the floss was definitely like yarn and thicker, but it was really fun, and it was like the first craft that I chose for myself to do that wasn't like coloring or anything like that. It was like a craft. So it feels really, really good to just dive back into cross stitch, but doing something that requires patience and skill and like learning a new technique that isn't just knitting. Yeah. So it feels really good to do a project that's not knitting. Kind of just taking a page out of Mackenzie's book, or M to the Third, from her podcast, and like taking a break from some knitting stuff, and feels good to like do that. Yeah, that's my whip. And it's like helpful also that I'm doing some embroidery right now, because I injured my finger. I don't know if you can like see, it's got like a little bump from a bruise on there. Like you can see the difference between my fingers. I I dropped the fork of my motor. Well, I was changing the fork seals for my motorcycle with the assistance of my husband. And while I was trying to push the fork up and back into place under the handlebars, my bike, I think I like stepped on like the stand quick release, and it like fell and like smashed my finger pretty good. And so my finger hurts, while if I try to like knit or anything, like I tried to like knit immediately after, just to like calm myself down, because I was like really frustrated. And also just like anything that has to do with hands and injury to hands, it like really gets to me, because I do a lot with my hands, but I also like, I have a lot of chronic pain in my hands from playing music and knitting and crafting. So just like, I was already like freaking out. So like I tried, like once I calmed down, my finger was movable and I could do stuff, I tried to just like knit, because that's like my peaceful thing to do, is like knit to calm myself down. And it just wasn't happening. My finger hurt. Like just like doing just any kind of tension from anything hurts. So doing embroidery is really nice right now, and cross stitch, because it's this hand that I'm using. Yep. So that's all I have for y'all this week. Next week maybe I won't be so medicated. But my allergies are getting pretty bad now that I moved to a new place, so it's to be expected. Yeah, so keep crafting. Pray for me. I just want to get through knitting this sweater. I am so bored. I'm so bored. And if you want to continue to support this podcast, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you truly, really, really appreciate this podcast, feel free to donate to my Venmo. Here it is. anything is appreciated, especially during Rona time. Yeah. Much love to you all. Have a great weekend, and I shall see you next week.